I want to hear these words. God, I want to hear these words. Well done, good and faithful servant. Goes to the guy that he gave 3 talents. What do you have to show for yourself? He multiplied it. And he looks at him and he goes, well done, good and faithful servant. He goes to the guy that he gave 1 talent. And he said, what'd you do with it? And he said, well, I didn't use it to help anybody else with. I was kind of scared and I didn't want to lose it and I didn't want you mad at me, so I buried it in the sand. And here's your 1 talent that you gave me. Basically, I did nothing with it. I didn't multiply it, but I didn't lose it. I took what you gave me and I sat on it. He said, you wicked, lazy servant. When I stand before my Maker, it is my prayer that I don't have a talent left, that everything that he's put into me and blessed me with, that I used it to the best of my ability to serve others with. I want to hear, well done, good and faithful servant. So look, there's a lot of opportunities out there. There's all these network marketing companies, and some are great. I happen to be part of a great network marketing company that taught me the things that I'm teaching you. But there's a lot of others that are just freaking bogus. And the whole dominating factor behind what they do is how many freaking people can you sell bullcrap to that they don't need for a price that's too high, that's not going to help them in any way, shape, or form, and the whole purpose of that is profit. And if you've been offered an opportunity with one of those companies, or if you're part of one of those companies, I'll encourage you to search your freaking heart and truly ask yourself, have a moral compass, search your conscience, and go, am I doing the right thing? Those supplements that I just sold whoever, did they really need them? Is it really going to help them achieve their fitness goals? Was it a fair price that I gave them? And if your answers to all of those are no, I'm not judging you, but I'm asking you to put a spotlight on yourself, search your heart and go, is what I'm doing right? Am I truly blessing people, or am I just trying to make money off of people who I say I love? And if you feel in your heart that what you're doing is right from a standpoint of morals and blessing and serving others, keep doing what you're doing. But if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you just sold somebody a meal replacement shake for $120 when any other meal replacement shake on the market cost $30, and there's nothing more special about yours than any other one on the market, but you jacked the price up $90 so you could make money off of your mother? Come on now, for real? Shame on you. And it's okay. I'm not your judge. But you shall be judged one of these days, and I would very much hope so, that you'd search your heart and you change your ways. Do you need to make a profit? Yeah, you need to make a profit. I can't send my son to the private school that I want to send him to unless I make enough money to do that. I can't send my son, have him live in the safe neighborhood that I want him to live in unless I make enough money to provide that lifestyle for him. I can't sow money into my church, the amount that I want to sow into my church, unless I make enough money to do that. When I pull up to the red light and there's a guy that's a little bit less fortunate and he's holding a sign and he's just like, hey, can you help a brother out? I can't give him $100 if I only got $20 in my pocket. You need to make profit. But it shouldn't be the motivating factor behind everything that you do. Focus on making an impact. Understand, accept, and know that you can't give without receiving. And if you want to take it a step further, just have faith. If you build his house, he'll build yours. And he's a really good builder. This message, as always, is going to turn some on, it's going to turn some off, and that's fine. But for those of you who are meant to hear it, you heard it. And you can't unring a bell. And here's what I know. For some of you, I planted a seed tonight, but you're not ready to have a harvest, and that's fine. Sometimes you're not there to harvest. Sometimes you're there to plant. Duncan Clark, welcome, brother. Sometimes when you're talking to somebody, it's a seed planting time. They're not ready to change, and it's not your job to change them. You're planting a seed in their mind and heart that will grow up and produce a crop later. So sometimes you're the seed planter. Sometimes you're there to cultivate a seed. Somebody else planted that seed in them, you've crossed their paths, and now it is your job to help cultivate, nurture, strengthen the seed so that it can eventually produce a crop, but you're not there for harvest. There are other times that you will cross somebody that the seeds have been planted years before you ever met them. And it has cultivated over the last 10 years. And now they're ready for a breakthrough. And you've been called for harvest. Keep that in mind. Sometimes you're there to plant. Sometimes you're there to nurture and cultivate. And sometimes you're there to harvest. My heart is talking to yours. I might be planting a seed in your heart tonight, and it'll grow up sometime down the road. I might be cultivating a seed tonight that somebody else planted in you many years ago. But for some of you that are hearing this, and I believe this with the bottom of my heart, it's going to produce a harvest in your life. This message. Why? It ain't me giving it. These ain't my words. I don't take credit for this crap. I'm just the messenger. I love you guys. Over and out. For those of y'all that came in late, please go back and watch the rest of this message in its entirety. I promise you it'll bless you. I'll give it 2 minutes. If anybody wants to say anything, ask anything, put out anything, let me know, and I'll roll off of it. If you got a comment, question, concern, thought, idea, whatever it might be, talk to me and I'll roll on it. And if not, I'll go ahead and close this bad boy out. I'll give it 60 more seconds. Nobody says anything, I'll be quiet too. Did the fat killer just take a sip of Diet Coke? Yes, I took a sip of Diet Coke. Don't judge me. I ain't judging you. I'm not seeing any comments. I'll close this out, guys. I love y'all. Vincent Rose, the fat killer with H2G Fitness. Brianne Marie, say a prayer for those of us who struggle. I can do that for you, Brianne. In fact, if you need to talk sometime, send me a message. And we can hop on the phone and I'll pray with you. I promise you that'll be much more powerful than just me doing it on my own and you taking my word for it. And I can teach you some things that you can start saying yourself that will start breeding strength in your life, and it'll be good. Dylan Bratton, appreciate it, man. Love you, brother. I've made a commitment to find a church, and the devil has hit me hard the past 2 days. Hit him back. The enemy is a flipping sissy. If you've read the end of the book, he's already been defeated. He's not a worthy opponent. His little butt has already been dragged through the streets and shown what he is. Or at least that's how he ends up. So never give the enemy more power than he has, because he has none. Don't you ever forget that. Duncan, I appreciate you, man. And dude, we're in the same town now. If we don't get up and grab lunch someday, that's retarded. You and I should definitely get up and chit chat sometime, man. It would be good just to get up with you, maybe even get the families together, man, and do that whole deal. We're in each other's backyards now. Lynn, you're welcome. Don't ever give strength to something that has no strength. You're fighting a defeated foe, which means there's no fight. He's whipped. He's a sissy. He can't do crap. God won. He got his little fanny kicked, and now we're walking out the victory. You're very welcome. Hit me up. You got my number. I'll hit you up, brother. I promise you I will. All right, guys. Well, I'm not seeing any questions to roll off of, so I'll go ahead and close this out. For those of y'all plugged in, I appreciate you. And if you missed it, go ahead and go back and watch it in its entirety. Hopefully it'll bless you. I know that it will, because, again, if y'all ever think that Vincent Rose is operating on his own might, his own knowledge, his own passion, you're sorely mistaken. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. 3. I didn't set an alarm. I did set an alarm. I set an alarm for 5 o'clock. God, at 3 in the morning, woke me up and said, "Hey, get up." And I was like, "For what? I'm going back to bed." All right, dude, I'm up. 10, 15 minutes later, my brother called me. "Hey, me and my wife here, we're headed to the hospital. Today is the day. She's having a baby." I've been up since 3 in the morning. But my work isn't done. He still has things that he needs me to do. As long as I'm here on this earth, I'm his mouthpiece to speak through. I'm his hands to work through. I'm his feet to walk through. And I'm going to serve him with everything that I have to serve each and every day of my life. And whether or not he chooses to use me or not is on him. But I'm going to be a willing vessel. And I'm going to focus on making an impact versus making a profit. And if you're somebody out there that's only been focused on making a profit, Search your heart, because at the end of the day, you don't stand before me, you stand before him. And he searches your heart, and he knows what's in there. I love you guys. Vincent Rose, the future is bright. Something good is happening. You guys take care. Be blessed. Over and out. I love you guys, and I wish you massive success in any and every and all things that you do. Duncan, I'll get in touch. Brianne, we should talk. Peace.